Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another useful noon hour. And as you know, and you noticed lately that in the summer we're running it every second Thursday. So today, my guest is Ravina from the Kids Help Phone. I'm so happy she is joining me today to talk more about it. I feel it's very, very important for people to know and to spread the awareness. So thank you so much, Ravina, for accepting my invitation. And
Absolutely.
awesome. And if you like to introduce yourself.
For sure. Thank you, Lena. Thank you for having me on your useful noon hour. We're certainly hoping that it can be useful for promoting our service as well. A little bit about myself. So I'm the project manager for Newcomer initiatives at Kids Help Phone, and I've been with the organization for roughly 1.5 years now. I'm also a newcomer myself, so not very long ago I was a newcomer in Toronto. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to oversee a service that is relevant for newcomers.
That's awesome. And how long you've been here? And how long well, I want to say how long you've been here in Canada, because I'm, of course, in St. John, but how long you've been in Toronto? And is it this first city that you landed to?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Is it the first city that you lived
Yes,
in?
yes.
Yeah. How long have
So
you been there?
this next week, it's going to be 3 years for me in the country.
Oh, wow. You are a newcomer. That's great.
Yeah,
We definitely love to have you for sure.
thank you.
And if you like to give us more like an idea and more information about the Kids Help Phone, I know most of us, like, we know about it. My concern usually, like our concern really at the St. John Newcomer Center is the newcomers to be aware of all the services that are offered within the city or by our government. So, I mean, this is a very, very important one. And I know you have a presentation if you want to share that and just give us some more information about the Kids Help Phone.
For sure. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Just let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, it's coming there. Oh, there.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll start by giving a bit of an overview of Kids Help Phone itself. So we've been in the business of youth mental health counseling for the last 31 years now, and we've been offering professional phone counseling service in English and French, as well as volunteer-led text-based support. We also have an information and referrals database. So on our website, there's actually a tool called Resources Around Me, through which kids looking for relevant services within their city or within their geographic location can actually use that tool to navigate various services available to them. Apart from that, if you go on our website, we also have a lot of educational content. So over the years, the issues that we've been hearing from youth, be it bullying, be it isolation, various issues that we've heard of, to be able to provide some tip sheets and resources for users to navigate when they're working through those issues. So what I want to talk about today is the professional phone counseling service. So as you might know, we've been offering services in English and French for many years now. When you call our toll-free number, select 1 for English, 2 for French, and what we're offering now is a third option to press 3 for Arabic.
That's great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. We have English translation now for Arabic, and that's very important for newcomers to know there is an option in different languages. So these are the 3 languages that are offered for now, right?
Yes.
And my understanding, the Arabic one is like brand new. When did you launch that?
So we launched the Arabic service in May earlier this year, and we're running it for a pilot period till the end of October.
Perfect. Yeah. And like the website that you mentioned is just for resources. Like you don't do emails. It's all by phone or texting, correct?
Yeah. So you can call in, you can also text in. So if you're a young person, you can text in at 686868. And if you're an adult, you can also text in at 741 741. The information and referrals is part of our website. So if you go to kidshelpphone.ca, there's actually a section there where you can find a database to look for relevant services.
Okay. It is for all ages,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
adults. Yeah. Okay.
So we help youth as they identify themselves, and when we say young adults, our understanding of young adults is anywhere between 5 to 29 years of age. The texting service, so the 741 is something that we've introduced very recently, as a reaction to the pandemic, where we realized that more and more adult populations were also reaching out to us. So we very recently introduced this short code for adults looking and frontline workers who are looking for text-based support.
That's great. Did you feel that people would rather use the texting more? Like, would they just express their issues by texting? Or does it start by texting and then end up in a phone call? Or how like, what do you notice?
It depends. It varies from youth to youth. We have been offering phone counseling for a relatively longer period of time.
Yeah.
Texting was introduced in 2018 for youth, and it's in partnership with a North American organization called Crisis Text Line, and it's sort of a remote service. So you can be a crisis text responder based anywhere in Canada. There is a training that you have to go through, and to be able to respond to youth that are texting in. So the option is for both services. It depends on the youth whether they want to pick up the phone and call, or if they want to use their cell phone to text in.
Oh,
Yeah.
and all the basically counselors in the other line on the other side, they're all like certified, right? Or
Yeah, so the phone counseling is through professional counselors, and the text-based support is through volunteer-led crisis responders. So people who have a background in mental health who also have to take our training and then be equipped enough to help youth.
that's great.
Um, So getting more into the Arabic speaking pilot. So a few years ago, we received funding from the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada based on the program goals that we had identified for offering such a service to newcomers. So being able to provide something that's culturally and linguistically inclusive, being able to be there for youths 24/7 for immediate mental health support, also to reduce the stereotypes that are prevalent in some cultures with regards to help-seeking behavior and reaching out to external supports for help, to be able to build a service model that allows us to offer a new language, which is what you see the service as it is today.
And then did you feel like especially the youth, like, is there a certain, did you feel there is a certain group age that they call more than others or reach out more?
Yeah, so because of the nature of mental health counseling, we see more young people who are say 15 plus and older, and we also see more young adults calling in. We do receive adult callers as well, not to say that we don't serve them. It's just that our counselors are more trained in youth mental health counseling.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
How do you feel like that? What do you see with the kind of questions? Is it more related as them being a newcomer here? Is it like, I don't know if we're okay to talk about like what kind of issues they talk about? Is it related to them being new in Canada, or and anything like a regular teenager would go through kind of thing at school or at home or at the street?
Yeah, so with the newcomer service we just launched in May 2020, so we've been seeing a bunch of issues. So there definitely has been more concern about settlement in Canada and those sorts of pieces that come with moving to a new country, which we've seen a lot. We've also seen other regular issues which youth in Canada face as well. So, for example, violence and abuse. family issues, isolation these days. Anxiety and depression is prevalent because
You
of
know,
the
with COVID now, it's just adding to the
yeah.
equation.
And I think one of the things that I find very sad is that issue of homesickness and not being able to go back to your home country, which we've been seeing more widely right now.
Wow. And you know, these kind of issues, like, are they raised by the teenagers, or like, you know, for a teenager to feel, you know, the isolation, I can understand, but if they're worried about settlement, does that mean they're worried about their parents or their family as well? Like, they feel they're not settled yet, like there's still some needs to be addressed, and I'm thinking they're just looking at their parents maybe, or their guardians.
That's a great question. So I'm not really a frontline worker, so I'm not actually on the telephone service, so it's hard to gauge the exact nature of the calls that we're getting right now. But we will know more at the end of the pilot when we have more of our learning outcomes and evaluation results ready. And
Yeah,
I'd be happy to share that with you as well.
that's great. That's really awesome, just to see, you know, what more can we as settlement agencies as well do, or where are we lacking, if there is any you know, any bridge to bridge, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like the counselors, basically, if there is any needs, their job is to, I'm assuming, to calm the caller down, the youth, and if there is any help to connect them with services, with other partners, or they don't do that.
Absolutely. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier, apart from having the information and referrals database on our website, counselors also have access to a database in-house. So suppose a caller calls in and they're looking for specific newcomer settlement centers in New Brunswick and it's in St. John, counselors have the ability to make that referral out and let them know that there is St. John Newcomer Center that you can reach out to better address the settlement needs that you're having, apart from the mental health support that you need. So there's definitely that referrals piece to the calls as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Wonderful. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so these are some of the services that we're offering under the Newcomer umbrella. So it's the Arabic phone counseling that I'll be getting into more detail about.
Yeah.
We also, as I mentioned earlier, we have the information and referrals database. So in that we have certain categories. So say counseling and mental health, alcohol and abuse, LGBTQ2S plus category. So as part of this funding, what we've done is actually included a new category, which is newcomer support services, to be able to better respond to the needs of newcomers who are looking for resources in their respective locations. And on our website, as I mentioned, we do have educational content, and there is a section in there which is particular to newcomers. So be it whatever linguistic background you're from, there is content available on our website and articles to go through that might help make that journey easier for you.
Wonderful.
And I link these out to our website, so you can have a view.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So getting more into the Arabic phone pilot, so it is Arabic phone counseling facilitated through an interpreter. As I mentioned, we launched 2 months ago in May 2020, and it runs till the end of October. Offered Canada-wide, so youth in New Brunswick can absolutely reach out to us free of charge to the service users, and of course available 24/7.
That's amazing. Yeah. Because there is a need, there is definitely a need, and you know, that's why you and I are doing this, because we know we need to do more in a sense of advertising it and tell people, like, there is help and we can help for free. It just, people
Yeah.
don't know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a need that we need to address, especially because we've been offering English and French for so many years. A lot of people don't know that we actually have this service. So I'm really hoping that we're able to get the word out to people who might benefit from the service and people who prefer to speak in Arabic related to their mental health challenges.
Absolutely. And of course, like with the confidentiality and everything, that is, I'm sure there's no need to confirm that for clients, right?
Absolutely. So we are 100% anonymous and confidential. That means that if a caller is calling in, we don't necessarily collect any identifying information. So that includes any legal status or any ID. You don't need to provide that for us. You only share what you choose to share. So if a caller calls in, they don't want to share their name, we don't ask for it. So that's a comfort in running such a service and being anonymous and confidential, is that callers don't have to feel judged and don't have to feel that they need consent from a caregiver or a parent. They can call us regardless of any other identifying information and have a safe space to talk to us.
Beautiful.
And so counselors are trained in aspects of cultural humility, of obviously recognizing that this is a service that mostly newcomers will be calling to. We've spent a lot of time in the planning phase of the project to address aspects of cultural humility and how to address the mental health challenges that are relevant to newcomer populations. And on the reverse side, our interpreters are also trained professionally and are 100% able to accurately translate everything that a young person is saying. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that the service for the pilot period, it is from English to Arabic and Arabic to English translation.
Mm. Yeah, and it's really interesting also to see that, the point where it says counselors are trained in aspects of cultural humility and multicultural counseling, to keep that in mind and to respect that and not just disregard it or sometimes, some youth and some people, they feel like they're aliens if when they're talking to someone who doesn't understand, what they're talking about or they're coming from. That's
Definitely.
very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah, it was important to us to give our service users or potential service users as seamless of an experience as they can have, which is why we spend a lot of time on these spaces to build a user journey and experience that is comfortable for people to call us.
Awesome. And is there like a follow-up, like if let's say if you're the counselor and you felt like the youth called you and you felt maybe you need to follow up on this youth, is there a follow-up or you just leave it to the youth to call again? And if the youth calls again, would he or she be getting the same counselor or would it be a different person where it's like a call center, right?
That's a great question. So because we're anonymous and confidential, we actually don't track the numbers that are coming in. So that's why it's sort of a single session model. So if a caller calls in today, they'll get a different counselor. And if a caller calls in tomorrow, they'll likely get a different counselor. So that's the single session model that we follow as part of being anonymous and confidential.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for asking that. That's a great point to clarify. All right. See, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the reason I've included this diagram is to give you a sense of what the user journey looks like from a caller's perspective. So as with all our other callers, they're calling in 1-800-668-6868, after which you hear a recording for English, you hear a recording for French, and then the third option is to hear a recording for Arabic, after which a caller selects 3 to avail the services in Arabic. Counselors are absolutely trained in how to connect with the interpreter and how to make that work from our end. So just to say that the caller is only following like 2 steps in connecting with Arabic services. So we've tried our best to make it as seamless, and all the training and all the back-end work is on our counselors.
Wow. Yeah. Good to know.
So, Dina, I may have shared this with you earlier, so I just wanted to give a screenshot of the material that we have as it relates to this pilot. So the one that we've seen the most is our social share image, which basically gives a bit of detail about the program and how to connect to the Arabic service. All of these materials are available in English as well as translated to Arabic. I've included the links on our website on where you can find all of these materials. And hopefully, share them as widely as you can so that you know how to reach us.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, maybe that slide with the links and all that, if you can maybe send it to me, and I can attach it in the email when I send it to clients, and whoever asks, then we'll have it ready just to
Yeah,
write it.
absolutely. I can send you this entire presentation, and I can send you the link to our website and everything you need to disseminate further. No problem.
Awesome. Yeah, and we can put it on our social media as well, because
Definitely. Thank
it's
you.
very important. Yeah.
And then again, these are screenshots of our webpage that's supporting Arabic speaking youth. And we also have a short video which was originally in English, and we've added subtitles in Arabic so that Arabic speaking youth can also benefit from watching the video.
Oh, interesting. So a day in
Day in the life of a
uh,
counselor. So because we run an anonymous and confidential service, a lot of the times we hear that, callers don't know who's on the other end of the line. So it's just to sort of break that mystery of who am I talking to, which is why we developed this video a couple of years ago. And then we were able to take that and add Arabic subtitles just to sort of break that mystery about who am I talking to, what do counselors look like, what sort of issues do they deal with. So it's a great video for if you're feeling a bit hesitant to call in.
That's so nice. I like that.
Thank you. And as I mentioned before, so this is the screenshot of the youth-facing content we have that's relevant to newcomers. It is an evergreen sort of page, so we keep, after regular intervals, we keep adding more articles and more materials to it. So far, this is what it is, but keep checking back and we'll be building more articles into it as time goes along.
I like that. So you're going to be covering like Ali's story on coming to Canada. So there will be a story that a person will be talking about?
Yeah. So these were based on interviews and experiences from people who came to Canada. And I think one of the issues we hear a lot from newcomers is dating and family and discrimination. So we added some information on that. The most recent one is the transition into Canada, which is definitely so hard for a lot of newcomers. Having been through that experience myself, I know. So we definitely found it helpful to add some tips on how newcomers can transition well into Canadian society.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not easy. Like I was a newcomer 100 years ago, one day, and and until this day, like there are things that sometimes you face or you feel homesick or until now. Although like this is home, but there is still like part of you that is still connected.
I can't tell you how much I relate to that.
Yeah. That's great. How do you advertise this? Like these stories, they're where are they posted? Like on a Facebook page that you guys have, or how do you do it?
So it's built into our website. So if youth are going through our website, they'll come across the tab that says newcomers. But apart from that, we also promote articles from time to time on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page. We have a Twitter page as well. So from time to time, you'd see the article about how to transition into Canada being shared for re-emphasis on our Facebook page. So there's a lot apart from just the newcomer tab. There are articles on various issues, as I mentioned. So to promote those articles further, our social media team also keeps sharing these on our Facebook page and other social media handles that we have. I've included those links at the end of this slide presentation as well.
Yeah, that's great. And some of these, I'm just assuming some would be like a short video, or some would be just an article, or they're all articles.
So these are all tip sheets and articles.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's great. I love this idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and this is my last slide. So as I mentioned, we have that tool on our website called Resources Around Me. And just to give you a bit of a visual, so these are some of the categories that we had in there already. And at the start of this pilot, we added the last category, that's newcomer support services. So when you click on this, you enter your location, you're able to find places like St. John Newcomer Center and various other newcomer support services. So I just wanted to give a visual of that so you know where to find it.
Wonderful.
And that's our social media handles.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Irvina. They're like of course the Kids Help phone has been there forever. And it's very important, and I know it's even in commercials like on TV, radio, and all that. But I mean to address the importance and the need for the newcomers youth is absolutely priceless. And I know I'm sure there has been a study from your end and from the funders to choose the Arabic for now. So it is a pilot. I'm not saying where you said it is going to end in October. Is there, do you think there is a chance it might be funded further down, like than October, or that's it? Like, do you know how they're going to do it? Will there be other languages that are going to be introduced instead, or how's it going to work? Or you're not sure maybe yet? Is it still too early?
A bit of both. So we receive funding for service delivery for 6 months from our current funders at the IRCC. We certainly hope to be able to offer more languages in the future and to constantly innovate and reassess how we're offering this. And the reason that we're ending the pilot in October, because it is a pilot, we want to hit pause and sort of take a step back, learn from our findings, reflect on what we've been seeing so far, and then hopefully have something more longer term to be able to meet youth where they are.
Absolutely. How do you get what's the feedback that you're getting from settlement agencies in your region, at least like locally in Toronto?
That's a fantastic question. I'm truly humbled with the feedback that we've been getting from partners like yourself, as well as in Toronto. I think everyone has acknowledged and realized that there is definitely a need for more in-language services, especially in the field of mental health, where it's lacking right now. They've been incredibly receptive. I did send a call out when we launched to share our materials on social media and be able to spread the word as far and wide as possible. And our partners have been incredibly responsive to it. And I'm really, really thankful for the feedback that we've been getting and the response that we've been getting to be able to share that further.
That's really great to hear. And I'm really glad, I know you guys are based in Toronto, and I know we've been talking for a while now over the phone. This is actually the first time we see each other, we meet face to face. And I remember, even before you launched the Arabic line and all that, we had conversation and we would advertise. But honestly, it's different now when we advertise it this way. It resonates more with people. It's not just numbers. And it just, it kind of hits home and people feel like, okay, it's assuring newcomers it is safe, it is private, because this is a huge part also of these people that they're just absolutely new here. They want to feel absolutely safe, and this is why they're here. Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And I know we were talking over the phone of the advertisements and all that, and I mean, this is great. I know we're going to share it with other partners as well here, especially with this video, and the presentation that you had is perfect. It's not
I hope I didn't overload you with too much information.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I love it, and I love the animation, all that, because you need something to be catchy for people. We were working with the Multicultural Council of New Brunswick, starting COVID, and actually I was in the mental health subgroup.
Oh, wonderful.
So I can't wait to share that and put it in our newsletter and put in the agenda, all that. So it's just perfect. And the timing for you guys to put this, of course you didn't know COVID is going to hit.
Did any of us?
No. But I guess I think it's created and it showed that there would be more need. I'm sure there has been more need than if it wasn't, because it's just adding, like, every single teenager, every single youth has their struggle. We've been youth, we have youth, we have, I have teenagers, like, we know everybody struggle with something. But to add to COVID, to add to being a newcomer in a country is
Definitely, it's a lot more challenging.
Isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So it's really, really great. And even for youth, like, I really like to just pass a message to them, like, you're not alone. Like, everybody has these feelings, because unfortunately, even us adults, Ravina, right? Like, sometimes, we might have these kind of, like, some negative feelings for whatever reason. Could be cloudy and rainy, I don't know, whatever reason. or the snowstorms, huh? But I mean, and sometimes we feel, oh, it must be just me, and I need just to snap out of it, kind of thing. And it's not true. Everybody needs to know that you're not alone. And I'm sure this is what's behind the Kids Help phone, for sure.
Exactly. It's been part of our philosophy to meet youth where they are, and to be able to constantly innovate and reassess how we're reaching youth. And as you said, it is definitely more challenging given the times that we're in, which is why I'm trying my best to reach out and make sure that this service, as well as our services in general, are able to reach people who need them.
Absolutely. And honestly, Ravina, you're doing amazing. Like, as I said earlier, we talked for so long over the phone, like, long time ago, and different occasions. And you're so passionate, and it's really great working with you. And I'm really happy to meet you, not in person, but virtually.
Thank you. I think it's specifically it's close to my heart because of having gone through that lived experience. But I really appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, no, I can tell, honestly. I'm not just saying that. I can tell. And I even mentioned to my colleague, like, it's really, like, I can tell from even your sound over the phone, the way you talk and the way you address the issue, and we're working together. You're very passionate. I loved working with you, and still working with you. And my dream is to see also more languages, although I speak Arabic myself, so it's, of course, close and dear to my heart. But hopefully we'll see also more languages.
I'm confident that we will constantly be looking for newer ways to be able to serve the populations that we do. And definitely, as you mentioned, the passion, it definitely comes from working for an organization that is so passionate itself. Honestly, it's been a rewarding journey for me, and we're so happy that we've launched this year, and we're looking forward to positive outcomes.
Perfect. Same here. Very well said. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, Lena, and I really appreciate the opportunity for you to take the time to do this with me. We're very, very incredibly grateful to all our other partners as well, who are sort of stretching their necks out to be able to make sure that we're reaching youth where they are. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Ravina. Very nice to meet you and to see
Likewise.
you. Yeah. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. Let Ravina know. We will put all the contacts information. Please don't hesitate if you have any questions. And there is no silly question. Just ask and reach out. That's why we're here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you, Lena.